I'm hoping that we get some people in the chat room. I'd sure like to see Stunt Hanger viewers come in. Tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm not gonna paint my other airplane orange till tomorrow. I want to make sure the paint is dry enough for the tape. But I thought I would drag out one of these Tom Morris airplanes I have left yet to paint, and put a couple coats of clear on them because these weren't ready to paint whatsoever. But whatever. We'll get it. If you watch the other live show I did, I had the train guys in. I'm hoping that if I do this every night or every Monday night between 9 and 10, you guys will get used to it. Let's see what happens. Let's see. So we'll add a couple coats of butyrate on here, and hopefully that'll help out, give us some base. Because there ain't enough paint on here for nothing. I should have weighed this. So let's weigh it before we start. I don't want to. See, if you're a viewer and you're in here, go to Stunt Hanger and click on the link. There's a link in the broadcast 9 o'clock Hangout. If you click on that link, you can come into the room. This airplane weighs 25 ounces. So at least I know where the start is. I can't invite you. You gotta go to Stunt Hanger and look at the 9 o'clock link. For the key for the link to get in here. Man, strong shift there. Terrible. Terrible, terrible. One viewer, go to Stunt Hanger. Let me see if I can put the chat in there. How do I add the chat? Cameraman, share screen, chat. There we go. Join. GROUP here. Control V. Enter. Hey, Dennis. I hear you, kind of. Can't see you, but I hear you. Dennis, if you're there, take your cursor to the top, to the camera, and turn the camera on or off. If you can't do that, go to the settings, the gear, and check. You can, in the settings, it'll have your webcam and microphone and communications. So take your cursor, move to the top of the screen. You'll see a gear next to the telephone. Click on the settings button, and you could choose the camera and turn the camera, what camera you got, and microphone. Now you've got your microphone off, which is fine. I mean, I just was hoping to get a little participation from everybody. Kind of like to see what everybody's building. Otherwise, it's just no different than me doing a stream. But this is more like a conference call. If you type in the chat box, I can see the Q&A. Otherwise, you just keep watching. But I'm hoping that this will really take off for everybody. Boy, it's a strong smell. I guess I should turn the fan on downwind again. I'm going to be doing this every Monday at 9 o'clock from now on. We'll do one hangout a week unless somebody asks me to do one. I need to ask the train guys about a group so that it kind of lets everybody know that we're doing this. This is an airplane built by Tom Morris. I'm just finishing it. You can always see that I'm going to have to cut some of it apart. That's the way it goes. Tomorrow I'll look for the Continental build that I'm working on. Let's see, who else we got in here? Who we got here? Michael. How you doing, Michael?
Doing good, Stark.
Good. Are you a member on the forum?
Yes.
Cool. I'm hoping to bring, you know, some good features to you guys, and I hope you guys like this. I'm old, so it was hard for me to get set up. I know the younger guys can get it set up pretty easy. Got any questions?
Not right off the bat.
If you want me to look at anything that you're working on, you know, I'll be happy to look at it and give my opinion on something. I don't have all the answers, but I have most of them.
Turn down. I don't know if you can see this or not. Is that Spitfire I was working on? God damn, it's not gonna.
You got the light shining right into the camera.
Sorry about that.
But now I can't see nothing.
Let's try this one. Better?
Well, yeah. That's considerably better.
Okay. Yeah, I'm the guy that had talked to you about the Spitfire wing, and I don't know if this is going to be visible or not, but this is an old Spitfire Stunt from Aeromodeler.
It's very close to a smoothie wing.
Yeah, except it's that thing at the bottom is supposed to be what you put under the spar to hold it to shape. I'm going to build it in a jig in 2 pieces, I think, now.
If I were you, I would get call Bob Hunt. Send him that drawing and have him build you a lost foam jig.
I might consider doing that. Funds are kind of tight right now, but I never thought of having that done. Then I'd have ribs that fit too.
Right, and then everything would, you know, be perfect. Now, that wing looks very similar to a smoothie to me, and I don't think it'll be too hard to build.
Hopefully that works that way.
Not a smoothie. It looks very similar to a Thunderbird. A Bob
Could be.
Thunderbird.
It's actually that one.
Mm-hmm. Could also do it in a beam wing. Have you ever built a beam wing?
No, but I'd sure love to get a hold of Bill's video on it, because I've got plans for an Argus and for a Juno that I'd like to do eventually.
We can get that through Robin's View Production, which is Bob Hunt as well. Here. You've been following my channel very long?
Oh, about 2 years, I think now. 1.5 to 2 years. And I enjoy your videos. I've learned a ton from them.
That's good, because that's what you're there for, to try to make, I mean, this is a dying art. nobody does this anymore.
Yeah, I've kind of been figuring that out. The only place I can find anything resembling proper fuel is in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I'm in southern Colorado.
Southern Colorado. So you're not in Denver, huh? You're more towards Las Vegas?
I'm straight south of Denver, about 240 miles, about 15 miles from, or 11 miles from the New Mexico border on I-25, and about 10 miles west. So I'm out in the boonies.
Yeah. My dad is in Overton, Nevada, which is straight down 15.
Oh, wow.
Which is west southwestern Nevada. My brother's in Denver.
You got a brother in Denver? I've got, my youngest brother is a truck driver in Firestone, and my middle brother runs the water treatment plant in Pueblo.
You can keep all that shit way too cold for me.
Sometimes. It kind of depends on the year here. Some winters are warm.
Well, this is St. Louis, and it's really crap weather. But what are you going to do? Got to be somewhere.
Yep. I'm native. I'm actually native of that lovely town to the north that used to be jokingly described as 29 square miles surrounded by reality, which is Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, you're not a Native American, are you?
No.
I mean, it doesn't matter, but...
Yeah. Actually, supposedly I do in my background, but not enough to mention.
Oh, you're not like Elizabeth Warren?
Pocahontas?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't go there.
Yeah. I got a bunch of good memes on my Twitter account, but I can't remember what they were for. It's lying bull or spreading bull or some nonsense like that. Jeez.
I'll bet they're pretty good.
Let's see who's on there. Just me and you.
I guess. What are you working on?
This is a Tom Morris 20% something or other. I don't know. It's I didn't build this airplane. I'm just finishing it for Tom.
Kind of sharp looking.
The same thing that God, now I can't think of. Oh shit, John Simpson flies. Oh, hold on a second. The Cavalier.
Oh, that's got some pretty lines. I think, anyway.
You've been following my makeshift Junar XL series?
Yeah, I like that. That's going to be a sharp airplane, I think.
I'm hoping that it's going to be light enough. It's 53.5 ounces now with no color on it. I got the white on the back. I did a live stream today painting the white. I'll bring that out and show it as soon as I get the clear on this.
Yeah, I was just watching it and then saw you were going to be on, so I thought I'd try to get on and say, hey, anyway.
That's good. This is what I've always wanted to do, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. So one night I was kind of flipping through the channels, and I found these train guys. Well, I showed them. Do you know who Wendy Ertnowski is?
Yeah, I had on the control line guys thing. Yeah, I know who Wendy is. I kind of have gone in and out of being interested over the years, and got out of the Air Force in '82 and was wanting to get involved, and saw a lot of Wendy's stuff in the '80s. Never watched his film.
That makes you about 50 years old.
Actually, I turn 58 next Friday.
I was in the Navy. I worked on F-14s.
Yeah, that's a nice airplane, I've heard.
Yeah, well, it's decommissioned. They don't have them anymore, but I liked them.
Yeah. I went from the oldest thing in the inventory to the newest thing in the inventory at the time in the Air Force.
F-4s?
B-52Hs to F-15Cs and Ds.
Yeah. We had F-8s, we had F-4s, A-7s, A-6s.
Oh, wow.
All kind of junk. Yeah. I'm gonna go set this back in my room. I got 4 more of these just like this.
Oh, wow.
So I gotta do it.
You got your work cut out for you.
Yeah, give me a second. We'll bring this thing up. We'll talk about it. I did the video on marking it out.
Yeah.
I got some tape slime on it, I guess. Get a paper towel here. This airplane, it's like I say, 53.5 ounces. Now I'm hoping to be under 56, but I kind of doubt it. My next year's Nats airplane, if it flies good.
Hopefully it will for you.
And I gotta
kind of agree with you. How in the world does Bill build big airplanes that are so cockeyed light?
I'm not exactly sure. His Thunderbolt is 53 ounces.
Wow.
I think it was 54 this year when we weighed it. When I did the appearance judging at the Nats this year. So I had it in my hand, and it's as light as they say it is. I mean, it's unreal. And this design here is kind of a it's a Bill Werwage, Chris Rudd, Sparky design, because I changed some things on it.
Yeah.
From what those guys did. I got a little dent there. What's that all about? But I really like the looks of it, so I decided I'd build one of these.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really nice.
You got anything you're working on there?
Not right now. I still have not done round 4 on the wing yet. I'm kind of in a bad spot financially, and when I can afford to get some wood from Tom, I'm going to 4th time's a charm the wing for that Spitfire. I've got its fuse pretty much done and top box on it. I wished I had gotten the wing done first, but hopefully 4th time's a charm. That last time was total disappointment. Everything was finally coming together pretty straight and everything else, and the bind nuts for the landing gear moved or got cocked and the screws wouldn't go in. No way to fix it. So
Have you heard of
whole wing
you know who Joe Adamusco is?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know who Joe Adamusco is?
No, not particularly.
I think I might have a PDF of his Spitfire. He built a beautiful Spitfire, but it's way too big. It's for a 90.
Oh, gee.
It's huge. He's a big guy, Pittsburgh Steeler type guy.
Oh, good grief.
But
Even getting as heavy as I am, I'm about 5'8" and pushing 200, but it's all belly. I used to weigh about 160, 170. So no, I don't want to fly something that big. It dragged me all over.
Okay, I'm 5'6", 140 pounds, 150. Most of that's belly too. I don't know what's going on with that little dent there.
Oh boy.
I never can keep shit from getting dented up. But
Yeah, I know how that works. Or in my case, that's some of what caused so much trouble with wings. I'd be getting them going, getting them built, and then start breaking ribs. I was so out of practice. I won't even go into how many ribs I reglued or tried to reglue. Hopefully I can keep them in one piece this time.
I'm surprised Chris Rudd isn't on here.
Yeah.
We can do up to 9 people.
Wow. That'd be kind of interesting.
Where did you find this from? The forum?
Actually, I think I found the channel first and then joined the forum. Off and on for years, I've been interested. Years ago, my dad had a Aries that I fell in love with and was always the stunt type. I sure wasn't a combat guy.
Right.
Always loved the stunt ship. And after the fact, after I lost my dad a year ago, December 31st, I wound up with all his airplane stuff. It's neither of my brothers. I've got a 10 by 40 storage with a whole bunch of airplane stuff in it now. Trying to keep this Spitfire as close to original as possible. I managed off of eBay to pick up an RC Mirko 35, which was what that was powered by, and had Jim Lee do the Venturian needle valve for it, and found a muffler to fit. So that'll be original as Pentland did it. But trying to keep this thing light enough to fly is going to be a challenge.
You need a bigger Mirko. I got 49s and 61s.
Oh, wow. I've heard that 61 was quite the engine.
It runs like a Super Tiger 60. How many you want?
I not know right now. If I build a USA 1, I might take one of those.
No, this is not the motor for USA 1.
Yeah.
That's a 49. This is a 61.
Oh, wow. Those are nice.
This is a 49. This is a 61. And I got, I don't know, 5 61s and 4 or 5 49s.
Oh, wow.
Here's an RC 49 Mirko with the carburetor.
Yeah, that's a nice engine. I was very impressed with this 35 with the carb too. From what I had read, I kind of got a hold and downloaded some of the old engine tests and stuff. That 35 was quite the engine in its day. And I know as a stunt engine, it wasn't a big deal here, but it definitely was in a lot of places.
Now here's a motor you've never seen. You ever seen it? You ever seen a McCoy like this?
Similar. I've got some McCoys from my dad. Not a blue head though. Is that a blue head?
No.
Black head.
Yeah, this is a blue head. A blue head 40.
Oh, okay.
This is a red head 40.
Okay. He never had a 40. I've got some 35s and 29s.
And this is a Magas 40.
Oh, that one probably runs really sweet. If I'm remembering what that was, George Aldrich did that one, right?
Yeah, it's kind of tired. Needs some work, and George ain't around, so
Yeah.
I got a Magas Super Tiger 46 in my Continental.
Oh, wow.
It runs real sweet.
Yeah, I was watching your one earlier where you were sanding and then had that short clip of the interview with Mr. Aldridge. That had to been, that was pretty cool. You went to a lot of work with those engines.
Yeah. He's been long dead.
Yep.
We're losing all the greats at an alarming rate. I was at the funeral for Bob Giske, and we put him in the ground there, and I told Christy, his daughter, I said, "Hey, how come his casket ain't red?" It was a beautiful pine casket. Somebody hand built the casket. It was beautiful. I go, "How come it's not painted red?" He would have liked it red.
Yeah, he sure had a lot of red note of his snowblowers.
He didn't have a pipe. He didn't have a propeller. He didn't have a handle. We got all that in the casket. But the bad thing about it was they cut his beard off. It didn't look like him.
Oh, gee.
So I have pictures of all that, but
That's sad stuff. It's tough to watch.
Yeah, I did the roll call video. I'm gonna have to do another one here again. I hate doing it.
Yeah, you hate to see him go.
Yeah, but it is the inevitable.
Yeah, when I was growing up in Boulder, probably late 60s, early 70s, we were involved with a model airplane club there that we had quite a variety of people involved. We were involved with control line, also with the Jeffco modelers. And growing up, I got to meet Rusty Brown a little bit years ago. And that crew and a whole bunch of them at that time were flying Roadrunners. My dad was flying a very overweight Ambroid Aries. My dad did not build light, and that poor plane never did fly well. And I thought maybe I'd try to rescue it and fix it and start taking it apart. Oh my word. Poor old airplane. So eventually I'm going to build another Aries.
They're real easy to build. I built one in 11 days on the forum. That's back before we had video.
Yeah.
Let me see here if I can turn this around. That looks right to me. Wait a minute. Setting. No, that ain't right. Cancel. I can't remember how to work this stupid thing. Oh, try here. That ain't it.
Definitely don't feel like the lone stranger. I knew nothing about computers whatsoever till I started school about 3 years ago at Trinidad State Junior College to do graphic design. So I'm a Mac guy, and I had a steep learning curve. Believe me.
There we go. I got it turned around now. It's facing the right way. I can turn on my lower third. Choose logo. Cancel. Custom upload. Let's try that. Upload the banner. Open. Let's see what it looks like. Overlay. Yeah, but it's in the wrong spot.
It's a point across your face.
Yeah. But I have the lower third banner like that.
Huh. Looks good.
Well, I'm just learning all this business.
Yeah.
I haven't worked on motorcycles in quite a few years, but I worked for Harley Davidson for forever. And back in about 1990, Kevin said, "You better learn computers." I said, "For what?" He said, "Because they're going to be all digital technicians." And they sure were. So it's been about 25 years I've been playing with them now.
Yeah, I didn't even start messing with them until 2013. That's why I stick with Mac. I've learned some Windows stuff, but Mac's for me, with the lack of computer, is a whole lot more intuitive for me.
I don't know anything about Mac except for their artsy fartsy.
Yeah. They do have great graphics. To this day, they do graphics great, but they're a little different.
I got the banner on there. I wonder how I make that custom overlay act different. Let's see. I'm probably going to have to make it transparent and put it at the bottom of this screen. Let's get the resolution on this. Source print doesn't say, but it's 17 or 1270 by 720. 1280 by 720. Yeah, I think I can fix it. 1280 by 720 and put that at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I won't mess with that until next time.
Yeah. Your glasses look like you still got some paint on them or in them.
What?
Your glasses almost look like you still have some paint dust on them or in them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're pretty crapped up.
I like your new shop.
Yeah, the other side's going to get the same treatment as soon as I can get caught up.
Your roofer got your leak fixed yet, I hope?
Nope, he'll be over tomorrow, 10 o'clock, he said.
That sounds like a really helpful thing to have get fixed.
Let me explain what happened there. I'm at the Nationals, and I get home, my old lady says, the ceiling fell down. And I just figured, well, you know, the drop ceiling fell down. No, the ceiling fell down. And there was a pile of crap in here.
Oh, I'll bet.
And cleaned it out. I said, you know what, we're going to move the bedroom, and I'm going to add this to my other shop, and I'll just remodel it. Well, the roofer came out. He was a guy that I worked on his motorcycle back when I was working on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I traded him a lift, a $700 handy lift for bikes.
Yeah.
And this last time out, I gave him, I don't know, a couple $100 or whatever. And I'm just kind of out of money now. Anyway, he was supposed to come out and look at it, and he didn't fix the leak the first time. So I'm out of lift and a couple $100, and the leak ain't fixed. So I got a call from a guy out of the blue, and come to find out he's a Stunt Hanger member who lives down south, and he's going to come up tomorrow and look at it. Okay.
Hopefully he gets the job done right for you. No more a headache than a bad roof.
Well, if I had a ladder, You know, it's a two-story house. If I had a ladder that I could get up there, I'll guarantee I'd get it fixed.
Yeah.
And the reason being is I just go to the hardware store and buy 10 gallon of some type of top coat, coat the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, at some point, this town I live in is called Cokedale, and this house I'm in, that's a painting my uncle did behind me, but this house was originally constructed in 1906. It's an old coal miner house. It's actually pretty nice for a coal miner house because in this town, living in one of the houses that was one of the mine foreman's or the boss man's street, if you will.
Well, I'm not sure when this house was built. I would say it was built 100 years ago. I know the back addition was done in 1961.
Oh, gee.
And how I know that is that I put 6.3 with ground 220 out in my garage.
Yeah.
And I had to pound through the brick to get a hole in there for the wire so I could fish the wire through. The concrete was a 1961 penny, so I would say, you know, sometime in the 60s was the back addition put on.
Yeah. Sure built different.
What's that?
They sure built different back then than they do now.
This is an all brick house. It has 0 insulation.
Oh, that's like mine. Mine's all cinder block with stucco over it. These were banged up for the coal miners.
This is all brick. And the overhead did have insulation in it, but the rafters, instead of being 2x12, are 2x8s.
Oh, gee.
So, I mean, other than a complete teardown, doze the thing over and rebuild it, this is just an old 100-year-old house, you know.
Yeah. But
it's mine. I paid for it, and I don't owe a dime, except for taxes.
And they'll eat you alive on that.
I'm a year behind now.
Oh, geez. That's kind of the story of how I wound up coming down here. My dad had retired early from Rocky Flats in 97 or 90. When I was 35, he retired. My dad started out at that nuclear weapons plant about 6 months before I was born, and he was 19 years old and retired in 55. Then his health started downhill almost immediately in 97, Christmas of 97. He spent the rest of his life with 24-hour oxygen from beryllium. So, but he didn't let it get him down. I lost him to, I'm assuming, pancreatic cancer. It'll be 2 years ago, December 30th.
For those viewers coming on, I see one viewer that's not into the control panel. If you click on the link in the chat box, that'll bring you in and allow your camera to take hold. Or if you're on Stunt Hanger, click on that link and allow the app to take over, and you'll come in and join us.
I've always been curious. What's that black checkerboard on with the blue and white wing one up on the wall back there? It's kind of a sharp thing.
That is a airplane I designed. It's an SV-100, and I flew that in the team trials in 07, I think, 07 or 08.
Yeah. And
I had one of those negative pullouts, and it was amazing. The wind was really blowing. I don't know if you ever been to Indianapolis, or Muncie. Blowing, so my turns were real wide, and the airplane was kind of heavy. And I gave down and I turned, and it was a nice flat turn, inverted. and it rolled across the pavement. All I could hear was, brrrr, and it was the propeller. And I drove the rudder and the propeller across the pavement. I gave it down like that, snapped the corner because it was a square that I was doing, and the engine stopped and I landed. So I was out.
That's a heck of a rough way to end a team trial. It sounds like
that was a negative pullout. Yeah. But I mean, it's flyable. But I don't know. I'm the type of guy. If the airplane ain't pristine, I'll build another one.
Yeah, one of these days I'd like to get to Muncie for the Nats at least. One of these days.
You need to go to Brodax, and I would highly recommend that you make Brodax within the next couple of years, because this year was supposed to be the end. Yeah. But John, he had throat cancer, and he got better, and he decided, well, we'll do it a year by year basis.
Oh, gee.
So there's going to be another Brodax next year, but I would suggest that you get the Brodax. That is a time like nothing else. It's
kind of gotten that impression. The other one I'd like to do, because it's closer, is so early, is the VSC. Because I'm far enough south in Colorado, that's not maybe twice as far as Denver to go to Tucson from here, or maybe a little more.
That's within 500 miles, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's 5-hour drive. Come on, 6-hour drive.
Yeah.
Brodax takes me 12 hours, 11 and a half hours to get from here to Pennsylvania.
Oh, gee. That'd be probably 20 or plus hour drive for me from here then, probably.
Yeah. Well, one year my dad's 93, World War II vet, and he decided he wanted to go to his hometown. So he said, okay, great. So Joey Matheson, who's the speed forum moderator, who lives in Vegas,
yeah.
Joey picked him up and drove him to my brother's house in Colorado, and I drove to Colorado, and from Colorado we went to Wisconsin, and then after hitting Wisconsin we went down to Muncie and then back here, and then he flew back from St. Louis.
That sounds like a wild trip. Good trip, but a wild trip.
We had 2 weeks to mess around.
Yeah, I haven't had a bike since 97, but I used to ride with CMA years ago. I'm getting that bug again, of all things to have happen at this age with my back getting bad. But last one I had was a Beamer, an R100 RS, and I don't think my back can put up with that anymore. But
I got a picture here. I'll show you. I got other pictures, but they're kind of buried. This is me and my cutoff with Steve-O. I belong to Statesman.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've ridden motorcycles forever. I worked for Harley Davidson forever.
Yeah.
I just sold my dresser. I had a 2000 FLH TPI, which was the St. Louis City captain's bike, and I bought it from him. It had 400 miles on it. We used to service all the city bikes, and they bought them for $1, and then they kind of just leased them, and every year they would bring them back and then get a new one for $1. Well, that one came back and had 400 miles on it. I paid $14,500 for it, and took all the cop shit off of it.
Yeah.
Put the tour pack and the radio and you know, everything. It was ultra when I was done.
Yeah.
But I'm done with motorcycles. I still got a toolbox down at Harley Davidson that I'd like to sell. It's a KRL Snap-on box, like brand new, from 2000. I bought that in 2000. Was 15 grand then. I got 40,000 out in the garage in my service cart.
Wow.
I'm basically done motorcycling and playing with shit.
Yeah.
I don't foresee getting the bug again.
I don't know. I've started to again. I can't believe I'm doing it this age, broke as I am, but I'm getting the bug. I didn't get married until I was 49 years old, so we've been married about 9 years.
Yeah, you'll get over that. If I wanted a motorcycle, I could make a phone call tomorrow and be riding, but yeah.
They're a lot of money and a lot of headache when they break.
It ain't bad. I got parts in the garage to fix everything. I won't buy anything but a twin cam. I got cylinders, I got crankshafts, I got camshaft heads, cylinders. I got everything in the garage. Do whatever. I even got ECMs and wiring harnesses and all that shit. I wish somebody come. I'm going to go out there and clean out the garage. I wish one of my old club brothers would come down here, load it up, and haul it away.
Yeah.
Bunch of shit. Got to bring I want to bring my lathe up here. I have an old Craftsman lathe. A 5-inch or 6-inch lathe.
Oh wow.
It's got a bed probably, 60 inches. The problem is, I don't know, with Gypsy and all my older club brothers dead, the big ones, I don't know how I get it up here.
Yeah, you need some real muscle to move something like that.
I need some serious horsepower. Roy, Big Lee, and Gypsy could definitely get it up the stairs, but they're all dead. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I know how that works. I've lost a lot of friends that way. I'm a longtime friend of Bill W. too.
So am I.
I got sober. God's proof to the world when it's time to get sober. You can get sober anywhere, anytime, because I was in the Air Force in Germany and I loved good wine too well and got sober in June of 1982.
You knew I was a friend of Bill W., right?
Yeah. Yeah. So I celebrated 34 years this past June. Don't miss that. Don't miss that at all.
What day in June?
15th.
Mine's the 11th. You know who else's birthday was the 11th?
Bob?
Yeah.
I thought I remembered that.
June 11th. And I didn't know that, but that's the day I got sober and I got 26 years.
Congratulations. Keep at it. Yeah. Some days are tougher than others, I'll tell you what.
I don't even think about it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. That isn't worth thinking about.
I haven't thought about whether I could, like Red. I haven't been to a meeting in a while, but we go to this men's meeting, Group 22 in this church.
Yeah.
And Red had about 29 years, and one of the guys there was his sponsor. He came in and told his sponsor, well, I had 2 beers. He said, what'd you do that for? He said, I just wanted to see if I could do it. What an idiot.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't start that ball rolling again. If I hadn't gotten sober at 23 when I did, I wouldn't have made my 25th birthday. I was drinking to die for the last 2 or 3 years. I literally was. So I don't miss that at all.
I did drugs, I did booze, and everything, but 26 years clean and sober.
Good deal. I was hoping. I've got a box full of engines, some of my dad's and some I bought recently. I was trying to find that Merco. I think I took it downstairs with the airplane.
Well, if you need that 49, I'll send it to you.
When was the last time you saw one of those?
I don't know. Pick it up. I can't see it. Let me click this on here.
KB 40.
Yeah, KMB 40. 6.5 is what they make now.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I would put that in. I don't think it'd work as a stunt engine worth a hoot. I don't know.
No, those are, I mean, we used them as kids, but they aren't a good motor for anything.
I know a lot of people I've seen lately in some of the model aviation, the others, a lot of people are starting to get involved, thinking about vintage combat. Of all things I picked up off of eBay was at a decent price as a G2135 Super Tiger, and that definitely was a combat motor.
Yeah, what'd you give for that?
I think like $40 or $50.
Yeah. Yeah. I got 5 of these. You know what this is, right?
Super Tiger 60?
Yeah, I got 2 46s. Have you seen my, oh yeah, you probably, if you've been watching my channel, you've seen the airplanes that I've been building.
Yeah, I've seen some of them, yeah.
I don't crash them, so I still got them. They're just hanging in another room. I did sell my Thunderbolt.
That looked gorgeous. Hopefully it flies well for them.
I'm sure it will. I just got fed up with it. I had, if you look back here, you see my other Thunderbolt that I crashed down in Memphis, sitting on the shelf, the tail of it.
Yeah.
And that airplane was so nice that it's going to be real hard to replace it. So
yeah.
It wasn't coming out exactly as I wanted. I just said, forget it.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard you talking earlier or watched the earlier test on this thing, and you were talking about doing a chipmunk for scale this year.
I am going to be doing a chipmunk. I'm Joe Gilbert. Do you know him?
Maybe by name, but not particularly.
Joe Gilbert has a real de Havilland chipmunk, so he took me a bunch of pictures.
Oh.
Let me see. If I can open one of these pictures up and screen share it. Let's see here. Chipmunk. I don't know that I can or not, but we'll try. Come on. Live attachment. Okay, I just want to do one.
Come on, cooperate.
Open with, okay, great. Default. There we go. Oh, that's not the right one. That's just the, let me see if I can find a different one. What this is a picture of the, had a picture of the rondelle.
Oh.
You don't want to see that. That's the no step area. He took me a lot of detailed pictures of the airplane, you know.
Yeah. That's what you need to do well at scale, I'm sure.
Figures when I want to get a picture of the whole airplane, all we're getting is parts of it. Well, I'll show you the rudder. We'll see if I can do that. Let's see how to, I don't know. This, this Hangout thing is kind of new for me. Let's see where we are here. There we are. And go this way and screen share. No, I don't want to do that. I want to. There it is. Can you see it?
Not yet. I don't know. It's not wanting to cooperate, and I don't know that there's anything I can do at this end to bring it up either. Ah.
Do you see it now? No. Stop
They
sharing.
see me.
Yeah. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I saw my ugly mug when I saw it.
This is just a picture of the rudder and the detail. But anyhow,
yeah,
it's a chipmunk. It's yellow. It's one of the last original flying Canadian chipmunks, and I'm going to build that and put the Sato 72 in it that I just took out of that airplane.
Yeah, I watched that. That one too. That looked like quite a job to get that converted.
Not really. It took me 2 hours.
Yeah.
It went pretty quick.
Yeah, eventually I have a pipe dream when I get this. For some reason, I've got Spitfires on the brain. Literally. If I had gotten the plans off of one of the eBay things for the, like 20 to 30 size, almost scale, I'm guessing British or Canadian Spitfire as a stunt ship, and the littler one like it for a 10. I was going to try to blow that up and run that with a Magnum 52 four-stroke.
You don't need any plans. Do you see the Supermarine over my head right here?
Yeah.
That's an S6B Supermarine that I flew in '05 at the Nationals. And all I did was I just took a picture of it and built it. I did that with an MC-72 that I sold to Bernie Trent too, and it was almost scale. It was a stunt ship, and it was almost scale. I took the drawing from the side view, and you don't need a set of plans. All you have to do is know what the airplane looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen you doing that. I may try doing that with the Spitfire. I like this particular version. I like the Spitfire Mark 8. That's about the prettiest one I think I've ever seen. The later ones with the bigger engine were too lumpy in the nose.
Well, if you can get pictures of it and understand basic control line aerobatics, you know that you're not going to build a scale low wing dihedral airplane. So it doesn't matter where you build the wing. So as long as you got place the wing, as long as you got the basic outline, shape, and an airfoil that'll carry the weight of the model where you think it's going to come out, it's going to work, and it's going to represent what you're doing, but it's not going to be a scale model. It's just not. Yeah,
I'm not in any way smart enough to pull Al Rabe. His were so close to scale, it's incredible. And I've seen some videos of him or somebody flying the snaggletooth. That's unreal the way that thing flies.
You like that? Really?
Yeah, I like that snaggletooth.
It doesn't fly anywhere near what Billy's Thunderbolt does.
I'd love to see that fly one of these times with him on the handle of it.
But the Thunderbolt is a cartoon representation of a Thunderbolt because the wing's too high. You can't have the wing down the bottom of the airplane for a control line. This lateral center of gravity is just too far out of whack.
Yeah. Unless you do the actual dihedral to get it centered like Ray did, but that's a lot of work to make that work.
Dihedral doesn't work. You know, I mean, yeah, it works, but I don't know. Billy flew one of Al Rabe's Bearcats.
Yeah.
And he said I wouldn't trade.
Oh, I'll bet not.
Yeah, I mean.
And I'll bet they don't build nearly as light as Bill's airplanes do.
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but I heard somewhere that Al Rabe's critical mass was somewhere in the 90-ounce range.
No, thank you. That would drag me around the circle. I wouldn't be flying it. It'd be dragging me.
You know, somebody will come back and say, well, no, it wasn't 90, it was only 87. Okay, I just heard. I don't have an exact weight. But I looked at that airplane and saw how thick the clear was on that. I knew damn well, boy, that thing's got to be heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them. Some people built them really heavy. When my dad built that Ambroid Aries originally, he used automotive acrylic lacquer, and I think that Aries probably weighed 60 ounces with a Fox 29 in it. That poor old airplane. He recovered it and did monocoat and that, but it still was way too heavy.
One of the guys here on the forum came up to visit me, Tom Creasy. And I saw him at the Nats this year, but I gave him a Tom Warden Chipmunk. And the reason I gave it to him was it was a Jim Van Loo Chipmunk foam wing job that weighed 60 ounces with a 46 Super Tiger. It's too heavy. Way too heavy.
Yeah.
Tom's Continental, the one that I modeled, his weighed about 60 ounces, where mine is 48. Big difference.
Yeah, actually, you won't believe what I found in my dad's stuff. I may still have it here. I have the original old Model Airplane News magazine article about that Bob Barron typed up for him.
I was there when this picture was taken.
Oh, gee. It was definitely a pretty airplane.
This magazine right here?
Yep, that's the one. My cover fell off, but I've still got that magazine.
This was there was a dirt road that came down this way, and you parked over in the parking lot right here. And you walked along this fence right there, and we used to fly where that guy's standing. This track right here is a tether car track. They had 4 circles, one here, one up, you know, farther on the other side, and then 2 up close to the freeway, one on each side.
Oh, gee.
This was the entrance where this was taken.
That was a good-sized airplane for the time, wasn't it?
I don't know. I got one just like it. Except mine's, you know, considerably lighter. You've seen mine, haven't you?
Yeah, that's a gorgeous airplane. I love that one.
Mine has real gold leaf. His has some crappy gold decals.
Yeah, and yours came out a whole lot lighter.
Yeah, I took this magazine. See, Tom was our tester's rep when my dad had the hobby shop. And I used to get wood from Tom, and I used to build him airplanes, and he would finish them. And for that, for me building, I used to get all the light wood I could get. And Vic Cunningham from Free Flight was our Pettit rep. Oh, here's Tom Niebuhr. Tom Niebuhr rubbing out his Lou Andrews Barnstormer. Tom Niebuhr been around for a while.
Yep, that's a name I remember from way back as a kid.
I just happened to, when I see Tom Niebuhr out again, I'll have to say, hey, I saw your picture in a magazine from, what is this, 71, 40, 45 years ago.
That's hard. That's hard to believe. That makes, I don't know about you, but that sure makes me feel old. Sometimes.
This magazine has a write-up of the new Super Tiger Saturn 60. One I just showed you.
Yeah.
The new 60. So that motor is 45 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know if you've looked on eBay that much. The guy that's, I don't know who has Lavaca Hobby on there, but he has a lot of Super Tiger stuff. He used to have a hobby shop and did Super Tiger stuff a lot. He's actually got something up for sale that I'm watching. With where my budget is, I don't think I'm going to be able to. He's got an HP 40 that's set up for Stunt.
What do you want that for?
Maybe a Juno.
No. They're heavy.
Yeah. What he was saying, that engine only weighs 9 ounces. That's awfully light for a Schnurl 40.
Yeah, I'd say my airplane looks the same as that. I built a bunch of them. I'm building one right up over here for a customer. That's a Continental right there on the shelf.
Yeah. And you were building that other one that's getting close to paint, or is that the same one?
Close to paint. No, that one's not together. It's the different one. Here's a Continental stabilizer, elevator stabilizer.
Yeah. I definitely like the idea of your hinges. That looks so much better and has to work so much better.
Well, I'll tell you what, once you use those, you won't use blade hinges anymore. They much lighter. And if you'll notice, I can explain it now because you look here, there's a recessed groove. You see that?
Yeah.
Then this is rounded, and it fits into that groove. Oh, into that groove. So when you move it in any, let me move it up this way. So when you move it in any direction, there's zero hinge gap.
Which is a good thing.
So the way my hinges work, they're recessed back into the flap half the distance. So wherever it turns, it does not, it's not going like that. It's rotating right on its center axis, so it stays right in that groove.
Yeah, I like the look of those. They look like a little bit of work to make, but a little bit of work, but
they're not bad at all. Let's see, where the hell are they? I gotta make some up, so let me look here. I don't remember what I did with them. Here they are. There's a guy on the forum that does laser cutting and pin routing. Well, these are 7-ply plywood. He can laser cut the 5-ply.
Yeah.
Or no, the 3-ply light ply.
Yeah.
But he can't laser cut those, so I had him pin route them with a CNC router.
Oh, gee.
And he made me up a bag full. I just sent him a drawing of what I wanted. I wanted the center hub, the thickness of the elevator, which is 3/8, and So we have a 3/8 circle here, and then there's a 16th inch hole in the center.
Yeah, I see
So
that.
that's 3/16 back. And if you cut the, you know, cut the slot for this back into the flat 3/16 of an inch, it stays right on, you know, in that configuration right there.
Yeah.
So that's how that works. And then there's a 1 inch long or 3/4 inch long 1/8 inch tang. So you drill an 1/8 inch hole in it and just stick it in. Real simple.
Yeah, they look. I was going to try that with this, but I'm building it to quote the plan specs, and it's way too thin. This Spitfire one's way too thin to do that with.
Here they are installed, and you know, you just stick it on there, glue it on, no big deal.
Yeah.
But the funny thing about these hinges was, I don't think you'll know this name, but a guy I used to fly with quite often by the name of Ron O'Toole. He was a 60, I believe 68 or 63, I don't know, 60 something, Youth Air state champion.
Yeah.
He's about 75 now. And he would always tell me, all you got to do is, this is like 20 some years ago. He said, all you got to do is have a piece of wire on a plate. And, like, what are you talking about? And I never grasped it. And one day I was sitting down watching TV. I'd say I've been doing these hinges now about 3 or 4 years. I go, hey, I was down on the couch watching TV, and I just went, hey, I know exactly what he's talking about. And I went up here and I drew it up, and I go, perfect, it works great. But it took 20 years to sink into my head.
Things are so funny that way sometimes. When you want to remember things, it takes a while sometimes, or it does me.
He didn't draw me a picture. If he'd have drawn a picture, it would have, you know, I'd have grasped it right away. But he was just trying to explain it to me 20 years ago, about 1991 or 92, when I was building those Vipers down there. And he said, all you got to do is, you know, put a plate and pin, and well, that ain't going to work. And sure enough, you know, 4 years ago, I went, hey, I know what he was talking about. I come up there and made one.
And it worked well.
Yeah. So, but it took 20 years to sink into my head. Well, we've been on about an hour. Just me and you.
Yeah. Nobody else has tried to get on. Well, I'm glad I got to actually talk at you finally. You've been a big help.
Well, I appreciate it, and you know, I hope you enjoy Stunt Hanger. That's what it's there for.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this hobby. I don't want to see craftsmanship die, and we don't make anything in this country anymore.
Yeah, I know.